Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Backyard Dude. Let's get in today's episode. We're going to be talking about our chip findings and what we got going on with the Jetta and future episodes. So let's get into it. We're at the undisclosed location somewhere in the United States.
All right, let's do this.
He's already making excuses. We're in race mode. So previously on our episode, we did some test runs on the Jetta and the chip, and we found that we weren't getting numbers that we thought we would.
That was horrible.
10.5. So we did some investigative work.
Published times for the Jetta with our 1.4 and the automatic, we're actually hitting 60 in 7.6 seconds.
Did you say 7.6 seconds?
I did. In fact, it's one of the fastest cars in its class.
That's pretty impressive for the Jetta, isn't it?
It is less than 150 horsepower, and some things in its class are closer to 180 or more than that, and they're still slower.
I know that when we first got in my Jetta after we were thinking about doing test runs, before we had installed the chip, we kind of said, what do we think the 0 to 60 was?
Probably like a 10-second 0 to 60, I'd guess.
10 seconds?
Sure.
All right. So we were way off from 7.6.
I was not at all surprised at our results the first time, not knowing what the published figures were. But afterward, that raised some questions.
You know, I always think that I'm a pretty good driver, and, you know, as my own personal reference to driving, I think I'm the greatest NASCAR driver that's never driven in NASCAR. So, you know, to hear that I wasn't even getting close to the 0 to 60 times was kind of devastating and, you know, very sad to me.
So we did some research into ways that they actually do the testing. For one thing, obviously they're using professional timing gear and they have a prep drag surface. And then they also use a 1-foot rollout, which is designed to actually eliminate some of the throttle lag that you get, especially in a modern car, which can sometimes be a second or more.
We kind of created a testing scenario that is not exactly, but is close to mimicking it, to see if we can say bologna salami on the actual published times, right?
Exactly. So it seems fair if we could get within a second, so maybe like 8.5, then we could say, yes, it can achieve what they said stock, and then we can start adding in the chip to see if we can bring it down, because our GLI's target time is right around 6 seconds.
Because remember, that's our goal. Can we build a better car than the GLI for less money? But as fun, we're gonna test our chip Jetta against Andrew's BMW and see if we can actually dethrone the BMW.
Not gonna happen.
You don't think so?
No. However, to be fair, if the Jetta is producing the amount that the chip claims, and given the fact that it's 500 pounds lighter, it's not maybe as ridiculous as it first seems.
So what is the published time for a BMW?
Between 5.5.
And what's the Jetta without the chip?
7.6. The GLI is 6, so...
You are in threat territory.
There is some chance, especially if I'm 3 seconds off like we were running stock, then yeah, things
So
could,
now we're
could get
questioning your driving style, right? I'm starting to like this. Sweet, let's get into the show. One of the interesting things about the chip and having this chip in my personal car, I usually got about 465, 470 miles out of a tank. And after I put the chip in, I've noticed that I've been going over the 500 mile range. So as you can see right now, I've gone 89 miles and I have 445 miles left on this tank, which is definitely putting us over 500 miles. So actually quite a bit of improvement on our fuel economy in addition to the horsepower that we're getting. So that's actually pretty good.
If you depend on someone else's opinion as to whether or not the chip is for you, remember, you're saving money.
All right, Yeah, we're at the undisclosed location somewhere in the United States, and it's very secretive. We can't tell you. And as you can see, we had some eyewitnesses that were going to validate our data, but they decided to head for the shade. So I think we lost our witnesses. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up our scenario. If we can get within a second of that 7.6, 7.7 time frame, then we know that we're pretty close, and then we'll introduce the chip into the process and see what kind of numbers we get. So yeah, let's do it. Air conditioning's off, traction control's off, and we'll go from there.
All right, let's do this.
Ready?
So that was a 9.0 run, which puts it as one of our fastest so far. Flip around and see what we get the other direction.
Yep.
Yeah, if we could shave half a second off that, then that would be in our ballpark.
And I actually wasn't shifting, that was just automatic.
Okay, so that we may be getting close.
Seriously, awesome.
So that's in range.
So that is...
Is the traction control staying off this time?
I
Or is
think so.
the light? So that may also be helping. There's still definitely like an initial delay, and then it really kicks in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually try M2 manual too.
Okay. Launching from second.
Yep.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Switch to M2.
Dead.
The problem is, I think we would have broke 8, but it shifted down to first as I took off. Yeah, so we lost a little bit right there.
So now we're engaging race mode to see if we can actually shave our times down and become equivalently competitive with the GLI.
We're going to do our time trial with race mode on. And we've added a passenger. Traction control came on.
Uh, 10.4.
Why do we always get worse?
Felt like it was losing power somewhere.
Yeah. Boy, Michael. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, let's just try automatic. Go.
Yep.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can feel it like pull it back.
Yep. The car's fighting it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep, because that was headed for an 11, I'd say. So technically you can add power, you just can't necessarily use it.
Right. Exactly. Very interesting. The car was holding it back. I wonder where that's at. All right, we tuned it down to sport. Let's see if we get anything better. We got to break 8. Did you see the traction light come on?
Yeah. Still up to 10.
Still up to 10.
It feels like there's more delay in the shift.
Yeah.
Like it's not coming right back.
Yeah. Wonder if there's a safety feature in the transmission.
So a second slower than Eco.
Yeah. So what we're going to do just for fun is take the calming mode and move it up to the highest setting, which is 5. Let's try that and see where we're at. All right, let's do it. Nothing hot.
No.
I can tell.
Yeah, 10.4.
Yeah.
It's like it drops off there.
Yeah, you hit,
Yeah.
yeah, like at right around 40. You can just kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Step back.
And so now what we're going to do is jump in Andrew's car and get some 0 to 60 times on his car.
I can put traction down better because it's rear wheel drive, so I don't have to worry about any torque steer. I can also actually fully disable traction control if I want to, but I also have a performance mode that will kind of split the difference, plus 300 horsepower. Do I bother with sport mode, or do I just leave it in drive and gently meander to victory? 3, 2, 1, go.
9649.
649, okay, got it.
I mean 6.
6.
And the hind
Okay.
4.
That's, I was a little confused by
Well,
that.
you know, my dyslexia kicked in.
And I missed
9
the
sounded
gear.
better.
I actually went from first to third. So we'll flip around and we'll get one with second gear included, because that my driving letting us down there.
See, he's already making excuses.
3, 2, 1, go.
Well, not too bad, Andrew, not too bad. But did he really get under 6? That's the true question. Can we give Andrew kudos for getting under 6? Well, we got to give him his props. He did it. 5.93. Nice job, Andrew. Nice job.
And I just remembered that AC is still on.
Oh, sure. Rub in the salt. Just rub in the salt in the freshly wound of losing. Horrible. Just horrible. Well, we gave it a try. Now I have to go back to the drawing board because our motto is design, build, stand out. So I'm going to have to build something on the Jetta to make it better, to take down this BMW 335i. All right, so we're back from our test run, and unfortunately for me, I always like to be able to go ha ha, but the joke's on me, I guess, so I can't call bologna salami on their numbers because we actually got right to their numbers. So I have to give the hats off to German engineering. What we did find though, unfortunately, we are actually putting more horsepower down than the car wants to allow. So the car is actually restricting it in race mode. So our actual numbers are still not better than the economy mode. So if you're looking to get a chip and you want great fuel economy, we actually talk about that. I went from average about 41, 42 miles to the gallon up to 48 with the chip. So you do see some improvement. But as far as the 0 to 60 time and the chip, it just doesn't work out just because it doesn't allow to put all that horsepower down and give us a better time.
Which also just happens to mean the BMW is still perfectly safe.
For now.
At least for
Just
the
for
moment.
now.
We're going to try and figure out some other ways, maybe with a rolling start, because you can definitely feel that the car has more power and wants to pull harder. It's just being limited and restricted. And of course, our project car will have a little bit of a performance edge. So some exciting things to still look forward to if you have a Jetta and want to see what you can do about improving its performance.
In our upcoming episode, we change out the exhaust on the project car. So, you know, carbon fiber always makes things exciting. So stay tuned for that. But also past that, we've got some upgraded suspension coming. We've got some other things that we're doing to the project car that we can make it better than the GLI and still stay within that relatively good budget range where you're not paying top dollar for a GLI. And so as we wrap up this segment, thanks for stay tuning. And if you like the content that we're providing through this channel, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. Yeet.